So how far would you go for revenge? So today we're at Brennan Theaters watching The Revenant. Now, if you've seen the trailers for The Revenant, you're probably already aware that this is supposed to be a very visceral movie. The idea behind the movie and what was portrayed in the trailer is supposed to be extremely brutal, extremely raw. What you assume, extremely well acted. I will say that all three of those are true. Exactly what you see from the trailer is exactly what the movie is. If you see the trailer and you're thinking, I don't know if that's for me, it's probably not for you. If you see the trailer and you're super intrigued about what's happening in this movie, this is probably a movie you'll enjoy. I will say though, it is extremely slow paced. Probably the slowest pacing I think I've seen in years for a movie. I found myself getting bored numerous times during the movie. Now, I will say that the acting was top notch. As slow as the movie is as good as the acting is. They steal the scene, every scene they're in. Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy. Both of them are absolutely mind-boggling amazing. If they both don't get nominated for an award for this, there's something wrong with the world, because every scene they were in was just amazing. I'm thinking back at scenes and my mind is blowing right here on the screen. It's a duality though, because you have these excellent performances and these scenes that are peppered in that are really intense, and then you have the slow scenes that are the rest of the movie. There's not enough happening between those intense scenes to make the movie really fun. When they pose a fight though, whether it's the fight with the bear that you see in the trailer, or whether it's just two people or Indians or whatever it might be, they do an amazing job choreographing it. They do an amazing job with the actual bloody visceral crunching that you have from those fights. Every single bit about it, everybody in the theater is shifting in their seats. And you're supposed to be. I mean, that's the point. So that's well done. So my focus, as you probably know if you watch other reviews, is entertainment value. I'm not really the cinematography guy. I'm not really the sound design guy. I'm the entertainment value guy. And in my opinion, the entertainment value of this movie was low. I wanted to see what happened in the resolution of it, but I could have easily just turned to a different channel if this was on TV. I wasn't that invested. So that doesn't take away from the acting. It doesn't take away from the visuals of the movie. It was a well-made movie, just not a very entertaining movie. So I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10 because I can't help but weigh the way it was made heavily. It was a work of art, is the best way to put it. It wasn't a very fun work of art to watch, but it was a work of art. Let's hear what our other survivors had to say.
This movie was very, very slow paced for me. Very hard to watch because of the slow pace. I think I tossed and turned in my seat more than I actually watched the movie. Though the movie did have its moments where I liked it, it's appealing to the eyes.
I did not really care for it, and I liked the trailer, so I was excited to see it. The production values were really good. It definitely showed the grittiness and the dirtiness of the era. They did not romanticize it for these people in this time and place, and I really enjoyed that.
Ever think that you've had a rough day or a rough week? Probably watch this movie and you're gonna feel a lot better about your life in general. This is super visceral movie. I was just blown away by how engaged I was with really feeling like I was there. And that had a lot to do with both the cinematography and the effect. There were a couple of times when I was just thinking, how did they do this from a technical standpoint, and not really knowing, but generally overall, it felt super real.
I thought there was a lot of good points with the cinematography, definitely. There's a few scenes that were seamless scenes through the action parts, and that was pretty amazing, as well as the backdrop for the scenery.
I was immersed in this movie. I felt it was so real, and even though it was slow, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with slow movie. I was cringing, I was on the edge of my seat. Everything about this movie just seemed so real to me.
It was a little slow pace, I will say, to start, but throughout the movie there's a lot at stake happening here. First, he sees his son get killed, and then he has to survive out there. There's a lot going on, even though it's slow paced. Can he survive this? Will he have his revenge? A lot of questions coming in. Every obstacle he faces, he has to figure out a way to solve. So to me, even though it was slow paced, there was always something going on, whether it was something subtle or something major. So I was constantly thinking, will he survive this? Will he get his revenge? Will he find the guy? What is going to happen to this guy? What's going to happen to the one who killed his son? What is going to happen in the grand scheme of things? The movie had great cinematography, fantastic acting, fantastic long continuous shots, especially during the bear attack. That was the most frightening, realistic looking grizzly bear attack I've ever seen on film since the movie The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin back in 1997.
This movie did make me cold watching it with all this snow and everything that was going on and how it was going on. I mean, it like I sat there and went, I actually feel a chill down my own spine. That alone maybe made it worth watching a little bit, but to me this movie was just not my kind of movie. It didn't get me into it and didn't make me want to watch it even further. It got me to the point where I actually wanted it to stop.
The acting was great. I just didn't like it. There'd be good scenes and then there'd be a lot of it. Didn't capture my interest. I'd have a lot. fall asleep between the exciting parts, and just wasn't that interesting to me. But the production values were good. I would say it's a good movie, but I didn't like it.
I was very engaged the whole movie. I actually felt like there were some similarities to The Hateful Eight actually from last week, in the sense that it's a very snowy environment, a lot of blood going on. The difference was the opening, I would say 15 minutes of the movie just hits you almost like the beginning of Saving Private Ryan. You're in this battle and everything's happening around you, and it's pretty frightening. You can really hear arrows, gunshots, people are just dying left and right.
And Tom Hardy was amazing. Leonardo DiCaprio was amazing. Like you said before, if they don't get a nomination or an award for this movie, then something's wrong with this world.
It's hard to believe that Tom Hardy's gone from playing a young Patrick Stewart Shinzon from Star Trek Nemesis, coming all the way through Batman, and now playing this dick. If Leonardo does not get the Oscar nod for this performance, there is, like you said, something wrong with the world.
Scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it and why?
I'm going to give it an 8.5. I would give it a 9 if it was slightly quicker paced. But the pacing has polarized the movie reviews across the board, I've noticed. But other than pacing, really solid work, really well shot, really well acted.
I'm gonna give it a 5. And like I said, it's because I just didn't get into it. It had its points where I liked it, but not enough for me to get past the parts that I didn't like about it.
I'd give it an 8. Like I mentioned before, I am okay with slow movies, but the CGI, the snow, the acting, the blood, the war scenes, the continuous shots, which I'm a huge fan of, was incredible to me. So
Probably give it like a 7 out of 10.
A 7 because of the production and the acting. The 3 I'm not giving it is because I didn't like it.
I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's one of the best movies I've seen this year. And by this year, I mean it came out in 2015, so I'm going to consider it along with those.
So The Revenant. Looking forward to this movie. Movie is super visceral. You can tell these guys were like, hey, we're gonna film a movie and we're gonna go like 100 days like up in the mountains and we're gonna stay there and it's gonna be really cold and harsh, and that's how I felt watching this. Like I felt this is how movies should be. If there were on a soundstage, they did such a good job at masking the fact that they were. Everything looked legit. The rivers, the waterfalls, the mountains, the forests, even the animals I think were CG because I don't think American buffalo are in existence anymore. Apparently it's inspired by true events. I don't know the exact true events of which it's inspired from, but something along those lines did happen. But Leo, Hollywood, give it to him. The man deserves it, hands down. Preview from when you see how he gets mauled by a bear. Just that scene alone, that's all I'm gonna say. Just that scene alone is like, here you go, Leo. Good job. All the actors fit all the parts. Sometimes when I was watching it, I almost kind of forgot like that's Tom Hardy, or that's Leo, or that's Eyebrows from Maze Runner, because he's in it too. I had no idea he was in it from the preview, but he's in it. Everybody played their part. The look looked good. I felt cold watching it the entire time. With all that said, I'm going to give this a solid 9. It's a must-see. Go see it. The movie's must-see. Total Oscar bait. It should win some awards. Hardcore. Leo should win for Actor of the Year. It's just that simple.
So I'd like to know, what is your favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie? Go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like and favorite. We have more reviews coming out every week. And don't forget, you heard it here at The Source.